of Michigan State hockey is Munn Arena, the finest college-owned hockey facility in the country. Munn is the place to be on Friday and Saturday nights during the winter season.
There's a new first-place team in the Big Ten, folks. Yeah. Michigan State beats Wisconsin 3-0 and takes over sole possession of first place.
Well, I think the first time since I've been here that we've had Michigan on senior night, so that'll definitely be pretty cool. And I think, especially competing for first place as well, that's just icing on the cake there. And that we get that win, that puts us in a position to get first place. So there's definitely a lot on the line.
Being part of the transition to Munn and seeing my first hockey game in Munn Arena when it was brand new, it was extraordinary. It was a symbol of the prowess of the hockey program, it was a symbol of the prowess of the university when we opened Munn. It was also a way to connect back to the history and traditions of Michigan State. So it meant a lot.
Fighting to stay in the playoff. We want to make the playoffs. They're fighting for fourth place also, but they're not going to come in here and lay down.
I remember talking to Emil about when he moved from Dem Hall to Munn and how it was just unbelievable. And he went through the old coaching things where the guys didn't appreciate Munn Ice Arena, so he made them go back and practice in Dem a few days.
It's been quite an evolution. I still actually remember back in the Dem Hall days, that's when my dad used to take us in the locker room way back then. And then, when they moved over to Munn Ice Arena, I mean, what a beautiful, beautiful building it still is to this day. I mean, it's just, I don't think there's a better building in the country to watch a game. And you feel like you're right there.
You talk to people in all walks associated with the program. It could be an off-ice official. It could be a fan that's been a 35-year season ticket holder. It could be an alumnus who played here. But everybody has great feelings of this building. Great sight lines. The fans are sitting on top of you. The size of the crowds. It's hard to believe Munn Arena is 40 years old.
The thing that probably stands out most for me is the very first time I ever stepped ice on here as a Spartan. I remember it was it was my freshman year. It was the first practice. I didn't know all the guys. I knew some of the guys. I just remember stepping out on the ice and how milky white the ice was and how bright it was. Kind of in awe. So I'd say that's probably the most stark memory. I also have a couple interesting ones. I proposed to my wife in Munn Arena. That's when I met her for the first time, so I proposed to her just over here behind the home bench, which is kind of funny.
2-on-1 break down the left side, and we'll get her shot, goal!
Playing here at home with the band and the crowds, on Friday and Saturday nights, it's just, it's been something special and something that I'll, keep with me the rest of my life.
Munn Ice Arena it's amazing, to me and to this program in general. 40 years served as our home, and my favorite part of it is probably the intimacy you have with the fans. You look up in the stands and the bleachers, and you can see everybody's face, and you can really feel their excitement, their emotions. Not only as hockey players, but as fans, you can kind of connect with them.
Stays in though. Krug, high slot. Yes! Shot, goal for Michigan.
There's nothing that beats scoring a goal here at Munn, and you hear the horn go off, and you see the confetti paper get thrown up in the air by the student section, and the band's playing. It's a great place to watch a hockey game, let alone be a part of it.
The emotions and all the tears and sweat and everything. When you walk into the rink, it's just electric. It's I know when I went to school here, it was just sold out every game, and and every game was a big game.
For Woodward, Woodward with a pass and scores! Oh, look at this! Murphy, here's Donnelly, a shot! Score! By Donnelly!
You have a new career shutout leader in the NCAA, Ryan Miller.
It right through the goal mouth, up top to goal for Michigan.
There it is.
When I was a recruited athlete, I was actually in the stands when the U.S. beat the Russians or the Soviet Union in the 1980 Olympics. And I was watching a game here, and it was announced, because the game wasn't on live television back then. It was announced, and I'll never forget that. I remember where I was sitting. I remember watching the game, and that changed the game.
It was the night that Chad Elbin scored a goal, and I happened to be coaching from the press box that night, and you could really see it develop. And he moved to his left, and I could see he's going to do it. He's going to do it. That Ferris had pulled their goaltender, and he fired a shot like he did all the time, and it was unbelievable to watch it all unfold. I always remember that.
Probably one of my greatest memories was in 1976 when Steve Culp and Tom Ross and guys like that were playing here, and there was a 3 overtime game against the University of Minnesota that was just as exciting could get. The building was packed. People were 3 and 4 deep around the concourse. I mean, I don't know how many people were in the building that day, but it was an amazing amount. It was an amazing game. 7-6 overtime, 3 overtimes. And so that's probably one of my greatest memories.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in this rink. Came here from a young age and watched Michigan State, and my minor league teams we would practice here and play some of our games. So I spent a lot of time in this building, and my family, my dad, I think, was one of the first teams to play in Munn coming over from Dem Hall. So my grandparents had seats behind the bench for a long time and passed them on to my dad and his sister, and that's where I grew up sitting watching in their seats. So we have a lot of memories here.
I just remember it being a really tough ticket to get. You couldn't get them. You couldn't get a ticket to a Michigan State hockey game. And for a lot of times we were one of the bigger shows on campus, and it was just that's one of the reasons I came here. I knew that coming in as a freshman that's the kind of atmosphere that was here.
When you walk into Munn Ice Arena, you feel the history. You walk around the concourse and you understand some of the events that have happened here in the past. And for us to be able to build it up and give it an entrance, and when people are walking around on campus, they can point and say, "Hey, look, there's Munn over there." It's it's a great place to be part of a program. There's so much history, and the feel to walk through those doors and to be part of it is special for sure. And I think it's steps in the right direction when you have to compete with the likes of other buildings around the country and in the Big Ten Conference as well. It's important for Michigan State.
You see a lot of these teams, and a lot of the college teams or NHL teams building new arenas, but I think there's something to be said to keep an arena that's been around for like I said, 40 years, and give it a facelift, and it still has the same type of home feel to it. It's not it's not new. It's got some character.
People can tell you stories, but it's nothing like living through it. I mean, when you have a goal or even assist or just a big win, a block, it's something that you get the chills just thinking about right now. I'm getting the chills right now just thinking about all the fans, and just having your family in the crowd. It means a lot.
It's unbelievable. We have an unbelievable student section with the A team. The go greens, the go whites. When you hear it, kind of sends chills down your back and just gives you that much more jump to go out there and help your team win.
I know personally it's really been emotional for me because you're standing at center ice, everyone's cheering for you, and it's a crowd here at Munn. It's just something I can't really describe. It's just like a feeling, and the feeling's unbelievable.
It's great that we can capture the tremendous history that exists here, and yet do the updates that we're doing to really allow the building to stay current and to stay vibrant with the new scoreboards and the video boards and the ribbon boards and the lights and all those sorts of things, the boards and the new glass, the new seating that's coming, the new office space and locker room space that's forthcoming. I mean, all those things are just going to enhance an already great building. So for me, there's not too many places like Munn Ice Arena, and you know, I think the next 40 years are going to be every bit as good as the first 40. New goalie, don't know what to expect. Let's get in his space, make it real tough on him. Let's hit the net. It's an area we could have done a little better job on last night. Give pucks a chance, get them on net. Dumps, keep it away from this guy. We don't know what to expect on him. But good, smart dumps if we're dumping the puck. And do all the things that we talk about all the time. And let's start with, you know, good tempo, getting guys in the game. Good short shifts, everybody get in the game. Here we go.
Of 7, 8 of their last 11. Good shoulder check on Cox. Spartans with a try and Peterson with a save. LeBate walks in, knocked away by Boyd, and the extra effort by the Spartan check there. 2-on-1 on the right side. Now Rissa shot, score!
Perry is still on fire from last night.
Badgers with a backhand try, saved by Hildebrand, loose puck, they shoot, oh, what a save! The biggest save of the night. So the Spartans carry a 1-0 lead into the third.
Yeah, but nobody's there. It's that weak side winger's going to do. Okay, he's coming through, see how he's going to come through? Yeah. He's going to be Kelly.
What they did was we're bringing the winger down. So we come here, okay, we ask the winger to go down here. Well, their D's going all the way with them, and then their center here is coming back. Our objective has come down to winning one period. One period. One 20-minute period right now. We lay it all on the line this 20 minutes, boys.
But if the Spartans win tonight, because of Ohio State's win over Minnesota, Michigan State would be #1 in the Big Ten with still a couple games to play. Trying to set up to Blouse one time. Barry shovels it in front. They tap it in and score! Mackenzie McKechnie on the power play. Sacrifice, that's big. Cox right in front, they score! Ryan Killer from the ladies' team! Spartans haven't swept Wisconsin since March of 1976, folks. 1976. Can't say that anymore. Another shutout for Jake Hildebrand and MSU. And they're in first place atop the Big Ten.
Did you just say we're first place? Yeah, we're first place right now.
It's my understanding that we now sit on top of the Big Ten. So good for us, but let's keep this one thing in mind. There's one weekend to play. That's when we want to sit on top of the Big Ten. You know, after next weekend at this time.
Fight, fight, Rossi, fight! Victory for MSU!
There was only 3 of us here or 3 in this group. We're here to start, and then we picked up RJ the 2nd year and Zach the 3rd year. So yeah, it's been an interesting ride here. So we were all in the dorms together for a bit there, and then
we moved in with you.
Yeah, then RJ kind of moved in with me for a little bit his sophomore year. So we definitely hung out together the whole 4 years here for the most part. So.
I think when we first got here, it was a lot of fun because you just had to take it all in. It was, you know, a new experience for all of us, and I remember freshman summer going to the pool was one of the main things we did when we first got here, and that was always a good time.
Freshman year, you kind of want to take it all in, but even though now we're seniors, like we got a couple weeks left in our season and a couple months left in college, you kind of start to cherish the moment and take it all in. 'Cause after this, you never really know what's going to happen. Some people will play, some people won't. And you're an injury away from starting a new career, so who knows what the path ahead has for us 5.
I think I had a pretty good perspective of attending school here for a couple years without playing, and then also playing, and realized how much more fun it was to be just playing a college sport, especially here.
My first day on campus, I didn't know if I was going to be able to come here yet. No one sent me like a letter of exception or anything, so acceptance, yeah. We'll cut that back. A letter of acceptance, and I flew into Detroit, and I was driving here just in case, and Coach Miller sent me a text saying, "Hey, you're in South Wonders, room like 356. Your roommate's Hildebrand." I'm like, all right, cool. So I show up with some extra stuff, and Holland wants to go to Tim Hortons, so I go, okay, yeah, how are we getting there? He goes, oh, we have scooters. So I'm like, he goes, you know how to drive one? I'm like, yeah, sure. I start up Drager's scooter, and I start ripping out of the parking lot with it and just completely eat it within 10 feet and just flip over. A whole bunch of girls come up, like, oh my God, are you okay? I'm like sitting there just bleeding out of my arm. So that was one of my favorite off-ice stories. Yeah, I remember when we like had the tryouts for like the goalies, and the first kid that came in before you had like legit like cardboard on his legs, and I was just blasting pucks at him.
And I know for sure I'll never forget Isaac's first day because I was sitting up top and I was injured, and I think it was the Blau-Miss workout, so we got absolutely torn apart on the ice, and Isaac had to do all this skating when he was really out of shape and wasn't exactly ready for
I
that.
had skated in over a year.
I don't even know if you took a shot that day.
No, probably not.
I think you literally just skated. So I think just like all the little things that comes in with like the dorms and then moving in with your teammates and apartments or houses. So I think just cherishing time with your brothers. You really never know when it's going to end, and it's kind of crazy to think it's already been 4 years now. It feels like yesterday you're just walking on campus for your first class of summer coming into your freshman year.
Yeah, time really goes by fast, but I mean, when we were at the CAF our freshman year, I don't know about you 3, but I know I could say me and Darney took a little advantage of the free food, and at one point in the season we even got talked to by the coach that we had to lose a few pounds.
No, it's cool that with all the CAFs on campus, you know, and then a lot of the guys go eat together and that. So it's another thing about bonding. You know, we're always together, doing stuff as a team, which I don't think you really get that in many other sports because I always say, like Tanner mentioned, like the locker room is such a special place in hockey, and I think the brotherhood, and you just kind of are always hanging out together, which is pretty special as well.
3 of us, it's probably going to the tournament our first year here.
Yeah, that was definitely neat just to be in like an NCAA tournament was like such a, it wasn't like many people at the games, but it was like everything they did, like at the hotel, there was like a big greeting for us. Like the president of the university was there, a bunch of people traveled with us, so that was pretty cool. And I mean, unfortunately we didn't win, but it was just kind of cool experiencing that together.
It's sophomore year, I'd probably say beating Western senior weekend was probably one of the cooler moments. It was senior weekend, and we won 1-0, and a senior got the only goal. Spoiled Western's chance at the CCHA title.
Still think one of my best memories was winning our first playoff series in Alaska, since it was the first series we took home in a while.
Yeah, that was my next one.
Yeah.
It's been good to have a couple sweeps here at home too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We've had 3 this year, I think. 2 or 3?
2,
That's nice. That's never really happened since I've been here.
Yeah, I'd definitely say the best thing is definitely the locker room, though. I think when you talk to guys that retire, they'll all tell you they just miss the locker room, and I think that's true. I think this is one thing I'll miss when I leave here is the locker room, just being around all the guys.
Yeah, especially since you play with a lot of the same guys for so many years, you really get to know them and have a lot of fun with them since you grow and actually get to know them as people, not just hang out with them for 6 months and then you're done with them for good.
Yeah, I think we've had some pretty good crowds here. I think our sophomore year we set the attendance record here for a game. So I think that's pretty neat that we've had some good crowds here, and the students have kind of, taken more of an interest in hockey. So it's pretty cool playing at Munn. It's kind of a unique rink, a little older, but it's kind of too bad we won't be able to play here when it gets redone. But it's been fun playing here.
Yeah, I'll definitely never forget my times here at Munn. I mean, right when we came in the first 3 years here, we had that dasher that stuck out, a foot. So every time you ran the puck around, it stayed on the thing the whole entire time. And then this year, they redid the whole rink, so we got to experience this new
new rink for our last year here, which was really nice, I thought. And like Darnie said, I mean, we got some really good crowds here over the years, and they've been really good fan support for us over the past few years to help us kind of go through this up and down that we've had the past few years.
Well, I think the first time since I've been here that we've had Michigan on senior night, so that'll definitely be pretty cool. I think especially the competing for first place as well. That's just icing on the cake there, and that we get that win, that puts us in a position to get first place. So there's definitely a lot on the line.
Yeah, I think it'll be something I never forget, getting to play them on senior night, because I agree with Darnie here. It's the first time in 4 years since the seniors have got to go out on senior night playing such a big game against Michigan, and I think it'll be something I'll never forget.
We kind of want to be remembered as, we're a fun group of guys who, contributed to get Michigan State back, where it should be. We started off good our first year, and then, the next 2 years are kind of down, but I think things are really on the upswing now. So I think being part of that, turning things around and, just being remembered as a good group of guys who are fun to be around.